Okay, so breaking news. This just came down the news wire. Paul Pierce, the truth, has been fired from ESPN. Now, if you've been living under a rock, allow me, brother, to explain. Apparently, Paul Pierce thought it was a great idea to have Instagram Live playing while he's playing poker. Now, the beginning stage of this sentence, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what's wrong with, having Instagram Live record you live playing poker? There's no harm in that. The worldwide leader of sports is not going to frown of him playing poker. Apparently, not only he did that, he had a blunt in his mouth and he was posted around a bunch of strippers. All right. And ESPN said, well, we've seen enough. We're just going to crap can Paul Pierce. Now, a lot of people thinking, well, man, Paul Pierce is an idiot. Why would he, knowing that if he does that, he's no longer going to be working at ESPN? Is there a method to his madness? Maybe he's a genius posing as a madman. Well, it gets a little bit deeper than that. Apparently, Paul Pierce said on social media, he basically laughed about it on Instagram about the report of him being fired from ESPN. Seems like he don't care. And a lot of people are speculating, including Wah, that I feel like, and he also stated also on Twitter that there's more to come. Something bigger is in store for Paul Pierce. And I can only think of one avenue he can go to. Fox Sports 1 is not going to deal with him. NBC Sports, CBS Sports, I don't think none of those two channels are going to deal with Paul Pierce. And I'm going to be honest with you, the cable satellite networks, they're not going to deal with Paul Pierce because Paul Pierce don't bring nothing to the table. He doesn't bring any substance to the table. Now, I know a lot of people in the comment section are going to comment, oh, wait a minute, what are you talking about? He was in the NBA. He won a championship. What you mean he don't bring no substance? Have y'all listened to Paul Pierce on ESPN The Jump, NBA Countdown? The ridiculous things he would say, like he's better than LeBron. And he was always on this smear campaign of basically saying LeBron James, he's basically better than LeBron James, which is laughable. And you guys know, I tell the truth. I say it split right down the middle. I think that's LeBron got scared of Boston having Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, which, by the way, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce they wasn't even in their prime when they formed their little big three. And LeBron said, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And he started his own big three in their prime with the Miami Heat. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what this video is about. Paul Pierce has been saying a lot of whack-a-mole crazy stuff for the past couple of years at ESPN. So that's why I'm illustrating and telling you guys he doesn't bring no substance to a network. However, the type of stuff that comes out of his mouth and he hopes that it sticks on the wall fits perfectly with Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports already have on their roster Deion Sanders. They pulled Deion Sanders away from the NFL Network. They also got $1 million worth of game at Barstool Sports. There was one moment in time they could have gotten Joe Budden, but Joe Budden got a little big-headed on that aspiration of a deal, and he passed on it. Okay? Which, by the way, I need to do a video on Joe Budden. But Barstool Sports is starting to collect a lot of these former athletes that are personalities on network television. Paul Pierce's name alone, and he's always throwing stuff onto the wall hoping for it to stick. they feel like a lot of people will tune in to hear what Paul Pierce is going to say next. He skipped Bayless, but at least with Skip Bayless, when he throws stuff, it's interesting to hear. And when you start listening to the details of what he's trying to throw on the wall, you may somewhat believe him, but you end up, at the end of the day, he's full of you know what. Paul Pierce is full of you know what, and his and the stuff that he proclaims and throws on the wall is laughable. So I feel like Paul Pierce felt like, you know what? I'm in this ironclad contract with ESPN. How can I get out of this contract fast? All right? They're not going to buy me out. They're just going to simply just wait until my contract's up, and then they're not going to re-sign me. So I got to hurry up and get out of this contract because I need to strike the irons while they're hot. And Barstool Sports has probably been pillow talking in his ear for the past couple of years. It's not a big deal to ESPN. ESPN just considered Paul Pierce as just another personality on the farm of personalities that they have at their stable at the Worldwide Leader of Sports, by the way. It's not like he's on Stephen A. Smith level or Skip Bayless level or Shannon Sharp level or Matt Kellerman's level, Marley Quinn's level. You just keep going down and down and down the pipeline. It's not a name that draws a lot of attention where you're going to get a lot of ratings because you got Paul Pierce on your show. But through the social media world, the podcast world, you know, he's kooky enough where he's interesting, where people will entertain his nonsense. And that's where I feel like he's going to go. A lot of people are not speculating this, but I'm telling you, he fits perfectly to what Barstool Sports is looking for in a person like this. All right. So that's what's going on with Paul Pierce. You know, don't feel sorry for Paul Pierce. A lot of people saying, well, why was he in that poker? Why was he playing poker with a blunt and posing in front of a bunch of strippers? Ain't he married? Don't he has kids? I'm pretty sure his wife knew where he was going to. And he wasn't doing anything arousing around the strippers. The strippers were just there. They were just furniture pieces, basically. And I feel like that's going to be the next big thing for Paul Pierce. He's going to do Barstool Sports, and he's going to do sports in in a different way. It's not going to be on a professional format. He's probably going to have a bunch of sound effects, some comedians come over, and he's going to have all this stuff in his studio like the strippers. Okay. Devin, I think what's his name? Devin the Dude. He used to be the third wheel on $1 Million Worth of Game. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, guys. But, you know, he has his own podcast. And, you know, the substance isn't what he's talking about. It's everything around it. The studio is lit. He's got strippers everywhere, music blasting. He's got attractive people all around him. And that's, you know, and that's how he does his podcast. He doesn't do the same ratings as $1 million worth of Game. But, you know, visually, a lot of people probably tune in for like a couple of minutes to see what's in the room, the ambiance of the room, and then they move on. They don't really listen to what he's saying, because what he's saying has no substance in it, has no matter in it. You know, it's just everything around what he's saying. All right. And I feel like that's how Paul Pierce is going to have his format. But we're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out. But I'm just telling you guys, he's going to Barstool Sports sooner rather than later. None of the networks are going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. There's no other options, you know. I don't Turner Sports. I don't see him fitting over there at Turner Sports. I feel like they got enough personalities over there, and you know, other than the basketball games, you know, I don't see how he can fit over there. Okay, so guys, tell me what you think. Comment in the comment section, rate, comment, subscribe. Please be sure to hit the notification bell. Share my content with your friends, family, and followers. Hit the like button, comment. That's the only way this channel is going to grow. The channel won't grow unless you guys do your part. All right, so it's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.